I got 178 million views, completely organic, for my brand when I first started this YouTube channel in 2021. And I did that in 2 months of posting content. And the biggest takeaway I've learned about business from generating all that traffic is that virality does not equal revenue for your company. So quick backstory, back in 2021, I started this original YouTube channel that I'm on right now though as well. It's been privated for years though too, but I massively blew it up in a very short period of time. Went from 0 to 100,000 followers in 58 days, 178 million views, all organic though too. And really what I was doing was a lot of business content. There's a lot of talking head style content just like this, with a lot of B-roll on screen, not really ever showing my face, but mainly just my audio behind it. And what I realized after generating all that traffic is that you'd be very surprised to know that I generated $0 from it. Did not make a single dollar from it. Nothing from AdSense and nothing directly from a business on the back end. And the reason why is because I learned over time that just getting a bunch of attention will not equate into actual revenue for your business. And I know you've probably heard that 1,000 times, but I actually want to break down the reason why it is. So a lot of people want to create a bunch of content. We'll call this top of funnel content, where you can reach a bunch of people. You talk about motivational stuff, lifestyle, aspirations, you're showing off watches, cars, all these different things because it looks nice on the front end. You get a lot of traffic. So somebody would have pulled my stats back then and I showed them off on social media. Everybody would say, oh yeah, you're massively successful. I could try to fake my lifestyle. But on the back end, I wasn't making any money from it. Now, years down the line, I did use that to start a consulting company, just like I have right now, where I help business owners create content on YouTube specifically to grow their business. But it took me getting literally over 178 million views organically to understand that you don't need to go viral. What you really need is just very niche down content for your ideal client. I would trade that 1,000 times over. And while I'm super happy that I do have this massive YouTube plaque back here for when I hit 100,000 subscribers, and it is super cool that I had all this traffic and stuff and gave me a lot of credibility into space, what would have gave me even more credibility when I first started is just getting results for myself and growing a massive business earlier on. That's really what would have helped me more, especially for my own pockets at the very end of the day, regardless of working with new clients and stuff down the road. Now, what this did do though, is open the door, again, when I did start my consulting company, to work with clients like Red Bull, some of these massive companies, personal brands, and everything in between. It did allow me to do it. But that's only because over time, I learned that if you can master attention, the right attention overall, and direct it over to a business or a service or offer that is structured well, you can maximize a massive amount of cash flow simply from just creating content online. The problem is that most people just create content for the sake of creating content because they heard some guru online told them they should be posting content on short form or long form or everything in between. But if you don't have a strategy in place for it, you're probably going to fall into that trap, because the only metric you can really track on that end, because you know you're probably not going to get any leads or anything early on because you haven't really dove into your strategy enough to even figure out how to generate that consistently with organic content. So the only metric you're going to really use to determine success is going to be your views, your subscribers, your followers, your likes, your comments, your shares. So the more those go up, the more you double down on that. But that's not always going to be the content that's actually going to generate you the cash flow down the road that you actually want, which is most of the reason why you're creating content in the first place, is to make money. There's only going to be a few amount of people who just want to go viral for the sake of going viral. It's an ego thing. They just want a lot of people to know who they are. That's fine. Go do that. But if your main goal is to actually grow your business, make more money, going viral is not what you want to do. You would much rather have, and I also the exact same way, would have much rather had like 100 views, 50 views average on my videos, but it's with my right ideal client of who I want to talk to. And obviously the more niche down your business is, the more niche down you can go. And you can also separate your content out to still be at the top of funnel within your niche. And again, top of funnel just means you're taking your business and niche and industry and just making it appeal to a wider group of people overall. So it can still be within your demographic, but a little bit unique way on how you present the content overall to get a little bit more reach. If you still want to have a little mix of both, have some credibility online with some nice followers and things like that, it looks cool. But if you really want to grow the business, the more niche down you can get and talk to your ideal clients when it comes to long form content like I'm doing here, that's going to help you the most in the long run. That's why for me specifically on here, I do not track any of my metrics. I don't. I do it for clients. I do not do it personally. I don't care if a video today gets 10 views. I generally don't. I will not private the video. I won't hide it because it looks bad or anything. I'm a YouTube consultant. You got 10 views on your video. You don't know what you're doing. I don't care what that looks like on the front end. I care about what it does on the back end. And I know what it's doing on the back end. And that's the benefit for this, is when you're creating content in a very specific way for your goals and they're aligned with that overall, you don't need to go viral. You don't need to generate mass amounts of traffic. And again, it took me getting 178 million views, all organic, and literally just burning all that traffic. Like the amount of optimization I could have had with that, with the knowledge I have today, if I would have done that back then, even if I did get that 178 million views again and directed it over to a more mass wide appeal offer overall, I would have crushed it. Would have made a ton of money off of it. But it took me going through, creating a bunch of content, mass at scale, to get 178 million views, generate 100,000 subscribers in 58 days of launching the channel, to understand that you actually just need to create content about your business and about your ideal clients, and that will make you the most amount of money in the long run.